Hello everyone, and welcome to Trailshed. And today, I'm switching back to flat pedals. Yeah, you're probably wondering why I'm switching back to flats only like after being on clips for like a month and a half. It was only like a month ago I posted my video about switching to clips. Now I'm already back on flats, so probably going to be a lot of talking in this video explaining why I switched to flats back to flats again. So yeah, let's go. Alright, dropping into how good. Hopefully my feet don't go flying everywhere. Whoa. Oh my god. When I did that one hander, my feet just fell off. Oh, that was a little scary. Alright guys, so without a doubt, everyone's burning question right now is, well, why did I switch back to flats only after a month and a half on clips? Well, I have various reasons as to why I've decided that clips are ultimately not for me. Let's start with one of the biggest reasons, which is that riding on clip pedals makes me extremely unconfident. Now I must admit that riding in Woodhill like I am today doesn't make me unconfident in the slightest. When riding on clips, it's really when you get to places that I'm not used to with trails that I find more challenging is where I start having a severe lack of confidence, which is pretty much anywhere other than Woodhill. Actually, the reason I decided to stay on clip pedals after my first ride is because of how used I am to Woodhill, and I didn't have any scary moments or bits where I was unconfident all day because of how used I am to the trails there. Anyway, my lack of confidence on clips when riding pretty much anywhere but Woodhill is because when you're on flats, you're very used to being able to take your foot off the pedal, and this makes it much easier to save yourself from a crash if you lose balance or something like that. On clips, especially when you're not used to them, putting a foot out to save yourself from a crash is almost impossible, or at least for me it is, as I'm not used to the motion of unclipping, and most of the time, you're not even thinking about unclipping, as you never know when you might need to do so in a hurry. Now, I'm sure that when you're used to riding on clips, unclipping in a hurry isn't much of an issue, but to get to this point, it probably requires a lot of time to be confident with unclipping in a hurry. This brings me to another reason why I switched to flats, which is that I'm just not willing to take the time to get used to clips properly. To properly get used to clips, you effectively need to take a step back. To me, I almost see transitioning to clips as negating 6 or more months of riding progression, and to me the benefits of clips do not outweigh the value of that much progression or just non-compromised riding. I'd rather stay on flats and continue to ride like usual than lose the amount of time it takes for me to get used to clips. Now I know that clip pedals might eventually make me a better rider than if I were to stay on flats, but it does take a bit of a step back from your riding in order to achieve that. Now, one kind of cool thing that happened on this day is I actually ran into Best Day Ever MTB. I'll put a little link in the top right so you can subscribe to him there. But yeah, did a run following him down How Good, so yeah, that was pretty cool, so put that in right here. Feet fell off on that last one.
What's that?
Feet fell off.
Your feet fell off?
Yeah.
Oh, you on flats, eh?
Yeah. I did switch to clips for like a month, but didn't really like it.
No, it's a very personal preference thing.
Yeah. If you're wondering, I'm not trying to rag on clip pedals by making this video, although it may sound like it. I don't hate clips, I'm just telling you guys about my experience with clips and why I've decided that they're not for me. So don't let this video put you off from trying clips. You could find that you really like them. I did, or at least until I took them to someplace other than Woodhill. My last Rotorua visit was my first time riding on clips there, and if you watched my last video, you'll see that not everything went exactly to plan. I think that my clip pedals actually were largely to blame for what ended up happening. I think the first crash I had that day definitely was because of my pedals, as I'm 90% confident that if I were on flats, I could have just put my foot out and saved myself from falling. Anyway, that ride was actually the main reason I've decided to switch back to flats, because when you're not used to riding clips, to me it's just too damn scary. During my last ride in Rotorua, I knew I wasn't riding to my full potential. I knew that I was riding as carefully as possible, all because of my pedals. Now granted, it was a very wet and slippery day, but to be honest, if I were on flats, I think my confidence would be like twice as high. That's because if you've been to Rotorua, you know that the trails there have tons of ruts, especially the grade 4s and 5s. Now, I'm already unconfident with riding ruts, even on flat pedals, and add clip pedals to the equation, and my confidence is close to zero. Another interesting thing I found when riding on clips is my riding just naturally becomes worse. I found that if I was going through a rut or a sketchy corner, my balance was really shaky for some reason. I suspect that this is some kind of natural reflex from being used to riding on flats. That could be me wanting to subconsciously move my feet around on the pedals to balance better or something. I'm not really sure, but the locked-in feel of the clips definitely did something to impact my riding in a negative way in certain situations. Now, I obviously know about all the amazing advantages of clips, like better climbing performance, your feet not shifting around, being able to lift the back wheel up easier, and many other advantages. Honestly, I will miss some of those, especially the climbing, as there's for sure an advantage there with clips. Other than that though, I don't see any of the other advantages really worth it to me. I've never had a problem with my feet moving around on flats, and my feet come off very rarely in general, so yeah, not that much that I'm gonna miss from clips, and I'm honestly glad that I tried them out, as then I would have never known if they were better for me or not. Personally, I think that you should just ride whatever pedal makes you more comfortable, and which pedal makes you actually enjoy your ride, and I find the flat pedals do that for me, especially in Rotorua. In Woodhill, honestly, I almost prefer clips, but I'm obviously not going to be able to ride in Woodhill every time, not that I really even want to. As usual, I'm most likely going to go down to the South Island and Queenstown in the summer, and that upcoming trip actually was another motivator for me to switch back to flats, as it really made me think how my riding would be impacted if I was riding around on clips. I'm honestly not sure that even 3 or 4 months would be enough to fully get confident on clips, as I really wanted to try and attempt some harder technical trails in Christchurch and Queenstown, which is the discipline I think I struggle in the most on clips. On jumps, I'm almost more confident on clips, but I'm really looking to get better at tech, and I feel like clips won't really help me with that in the coming months. Anyway, those were my reasons for switching back to flat pedals. I hope you guys get my point. You could say that I didn't really give clips a chance, but honestly I don't really care. I'm just gonna ride the pedal that makes me the happiest when riding, especially with pedals being a very personal thing. I think you should just ride the pedal you feel most comfortable with, and not try and force yourself to adapt to a certain riding style, or in this case adapt to certain pedals if you don't really want to. Anyways, I hope that you guys get my point. If you're wondering how I went on the flats that day, well, it didn't start off the best, especially on climbing, because my feet were pretty much flying everywhere, but over the course of the day I got pretty used to it, and after this ride I'd say I was almost fully used to flats again, so yeah.
Alright guys, now I'm climbing up to those trails up Judgment Cove. Kinda feels weird. I made a video about my last run on those trails and riding them again, because I extended the window for during the time this area is getting logged, so that's obviously good, but it makes the release of my video a little bit not timed well. But I mean, I'll take as much more time as I can riding those trails because they're so good. Alright guys, dropping into Kamikaze. Last time I had a really stupid crash on this one, so I need to get redemption on this one. So yeah, and last time I actually crashed on because I had clips, and the last bit kind of is a bit rutted and I lost balance and couldn't have clips, so I just fell over and it was in front of 2 people, so it was pretty embarrassing. So yeah, hopefully don't do that this time. Wow. So that's a better line where I kind of go around that route. It's a bit more direct, kind of difficult bit, I guess. Oh god, that run is pretty bad. Oh, alright, that's really bad. That's a lot harder than that was before. I really was just kind of trying to go around that rut, and you can see people have been skidding down there on the side, so that's pretty sketchy, but got down there without a dab, so that's good. Oh, nice. That's a cool jump. There's another one here, but you gotta go quite fast for it. Alright guys, that was a pretty sick ride here in Woodhill, riding back on flats again. I think for me the benefits outweigh the downsides, mainly on tech, because if I need a tripod on flats that's obviously easier. But one thing that is definitely a downside is the climbing. There was a bit of a slog getting up most of the hills towards the end of the day today, so yeah, that's probably the biggest downside for me switching to flats. But honestly, I think for me, I prefer flats just because I can do like jibs and the nose pivots and stuff without being scared that I'm gonna lose balance and fall over like I would on clips. So yeah, that'll do it for the video. So if you enjoyed this video guys, like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.